All right. Hey, everybody. How we doing out there? Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to part two of our doubleheader today. Again, the first one, we talked about Putin's crazy gamble in World War III and also about madness with free speech going on. Right now, we are going to go all in on our second part of the doubleheader. We're going to be talking about 10, 10 habits that are destroying your life and that you need to stop now. Okay. And before, I think last time I said, um, 10 habits to destroy your life. Well, I think we can all figure that out already. I think finding habits that will actually destroy our lives is a lot easier than finding 10 habits to stop doing that are destroying your life. Okay. And yeah, it's a little bit dramatic. I know that, but I want everybody to watch. And so drama tends to do it and get people watching. So great to have you guys back in here. Thank you so much for going on break and coming back over. Hopefully the break was good. Let me know in the chat if you guys actually like the break, if the break was a good idea. So if that was useful to have like a little 30-second pause instead of doing a 3 hour podcast-a-thon or YouTube channel live-a-thon, however we want to say it. So let me know what you guys think in there. But we're going to get right into this, okay? So again, like I said, a lot of the times, we can find so many different things in our lives that detract from what we're actually trying to accomplish. And sometimes the habits that we have are things that aren't so much destroying us, but they're drifting us. They're making us drift. Some habits are not optimizing our time. Some habits are making us drift away from what we actually want in life. Some habits are stealing our energy, our time, our money, our resources, whatever it be, okay? And then some of us have some really great habits as well, too. We definitely want to expand upon those and want to make those stronger. We don't want to take those away, okay? But again, what we're talking about right now are 10 habits that are destroying your life. You need to stop right now, okay? And a lot of these are not immediate destruction, but it's the slow death, okay? The slow erosion of your time, of your money, of your energy, of all these different things that lead to slow, gradual change. And sometimes the change is faster than other times, okay? But either way, when we change these things, we're going to change our lives. All right. And we're going to get right into it and we're going to crush this thing, okay? Great to have you guys all here. Appreciate all of you in the chat. We're going to do this. But starting off, we're going to go ahead and watch a little video really quick as a primer on habits. I think it'll be a nice little attention getter for everyone as we get this going. Let's check this one out. And all right, here we go.
It's not that luck and randomness and uncertainty don't play a role in life. They do. Luck is a part of all of our lives to a certain degree, both good fortune and bad. But by definition, you don't have control over luck. And your habits also matter. And I think that the reason they're so worthwhile to focus on and understand is that they are the portion of your life that you can influence that also determines your outcomes. It's not just luck. It's not just habits, but one of those you have control over. And so it makes sense. The only reasonable strategy is to focus on what you can control. If you spend all of your time focusing on things you can't control, then you're just going to end up frustrated. And so I think habits are maybe the best lever for that. Talent and genes, they play a role, and it's important. People have natural predispositions to things that make them better. But what you find is that nearly always when someone is a great performer in a particular domain, they are both well suited, so naturally talented or have some kind of predisposition to that area, and well trained. And so even if you are talented, you can't succeed without having great habits to execute and to fully realize the potential that you have. Your outcomes in life
And
are
that's
often
where
a
we're going
lag.
to stop that one right there, because I think that's a great illustration of what I really teach and I talk about a lot, is to focus on what you can control. Okay. So the biggest thing is in life, again, like the serenity prayer, I bring this up all the time. Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay. Makes all the difference in the world. Focus on what you can control. Focus on the things that you can actually build habits around. And again, as he just said in the video, it is not enough. It's not enough to just have talent or have a predisposition towards something, or to have certain genetics that allow you to have an advantage in it. If you don't work hard and build habits around this performance, be a high performer, at some point, your talent, your natural genetics, your predisposition towards success will not take you where you want to go, okay? Because the competition will get fierce with other people that also are predisposed. And I also believe that the right habits can help you to maximize your potential, but they can also help you to overcome any deficits you have or any, any low points, flat points you have that are not strong areas. You can actually get that point to an acceptable level where you can meet a standard well enough to keep on performing at your best in other areas. Okay. So let's talk about that. Without any further ado, let's get right into what these 10 habits that I believe you have to, first of all, we're going to hear from a different angle. Instead of talking about 10 habits to build, I'm going to talk about 10 habits you need to stop now. All right. Because I think it makes such a huge difference. So many people will talk to you about, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest things I've seen is that when people ask me, what has led to any success I've had? And I'll say, well, I can tell you things I've done, but I'm going to tell you what I don't do as well. Okay. And the same thing I've seen with other very successful people in life. It's not so much what they did, but it's maybe equally important what they didn't do. Okay. And I'll just say this. In the financial realm, you guys know me on Thursday nights. I talk a lot about building wealth, about budget, about income, finance, how to get ahead in life, financially. And one of the easiest ways to create more relative wealth for yourself is to cut out expenses, to stop spending on certain things. So just like in the same spirit of how we can increase the income we already have or the impact of the income we already have by cutting out spending, we're going to increase the capabilities we have and the energy we have and the results of the work we're already doing by stopping certain bad habits that we're doing right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get into this. Number one, here we go. Drum roll. Number one, stop drifting without a plan or without a vision. This is so, so important, okay? In the Bible, it says, a people without a vision shall perish, okay? That's just because a quote I know from that book, but many other great books of wisdom and religions and philosophies have said a very similar thing, okay? If you don't have vision, you're going to be drifting. If you don't have an idea where you're going to go, someone else is going to have an idea for your life, and they're usually going to take your time and take your energy, and they're going to have you work on their goals, all right? You need to not drift. You need to stop going about life without a vision or a plan. So what's the opposite of that? The opposite is spend time thinking about who you want to be, what do you want to do, and what do you want to have, okay? Everything we see around us was first born in the mind of some person, okay? With the exception of maybe some of the natural wonders around us, all right? But every building, every idea, every intellectual property, every movie, every structure, every car, their computers, so on and so forth, your phone, let's keep on going, okay? The media we watch, the content, all these things were first created in the minds of someone or a group of people. So you need to spend time understanding just how powerful your mind is and why it's so important to have a vision. You need to stop the habit of drifting. If you drift and you're relying on other people to create a vision for you, this becomes a habit over time. You need to stop that by spending time in thought, spending time in reflection, and actually creating a plan, okay? There have been so many studies put out there. I believe it was a Harvard study where they said people that actually write down their goals achieve, a percentage of success, significantly more success than people that don't write their goals down, okay? Similarly, if you don't plan, you're planning to fail, okay? So if you're in the habit of just, letting work decide what your life is, and you don't have your own separate vision of what work is serving for you, because work is a vehicle to meet your needs. If you don't have a vision of where you're going, what you're doing, what your 3-month goals are, your 1-year goals, your 5-year vision, your 5-year outcomes, your 10-year vision, where things are going, you need to get that done instantly because you're drifting, okay? You're letting other people call the shots for you. And you might be in a long-term work career right now. And that's okay too, because you do have free time. You've got some disposable income probably, and you decide, what am I going to do with my time? What am I going to do with my money? What am I going to do with my energy? What am I going to do? What am I building? What am I going towards? What's the end state? Okay. Or the intermediate state. What's my 5-year plan? What are the outcomes I want to achieve in 5 years? What's my vision in 10 years? What's my vision by Christmas? It's almost 2026. Now, I'll tell you right now, I know a lot of people that do not even have goals written down, and they said they're going to, but they do not have a vision. They do not have goals. I bring this up first because I do believe, as I've said to you guys a million times, probably, and definitely if you're one of my clients, my coaching community clients, okay, you're in a one-on-one client of mine, or if you've been to any of my inspirational talks, or if you're in my Ferocious Optimist community and membership, okay, you will hear me say this all the time, all right, that you change your thoughts, you'll change your life. That 70% of the thoughts you think are exactly the same thoughts you thought the day before, okay? I should say that 90% of the thoughts you think today are the same thoughts you thought before. We think about 70,000 thoughts every day, okay? And 90% of those are the same you think one day to the next day, okay? And so if you're thinking the same thoughts each and every day without a new vision, without a new plan, without new goals, and no motivating purpose, big reason why, behind why you want to accomplish the goals, behind why you need to achieve this vision, okay? The energy, the jet fuel, the fire that's going to get you to actually take action on the goals and actually take action on the vision and be passionate about it. If you don't have that, you're going to think the same damn thoughts again. They're going to give you the same results day after day after day. And if you keep doing that for 2 or 3 years, okay, and it's not taking you in a direction you want to go, you're going to keep getting the same thing over and over and over. And this is how you build a destiny. This is how you build a life. Okay. So I want you to think about that. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. It doesn't matter any of that stuff. All right. You can change your situation from right now to this time next year, from right now to Christmas by changing your thoughts, your predominant thoughts, what you think about. Okay. Again, I'll say it again. In the Bible, it says that people without a vision shall perish. Okay. That's what I believe. All right. Very powerful stuff. And I know there are many other great books and philosophies and religions out there that think the same thing. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, anybody's accomplished anything, a lot of my major clients I've had who are very, very successful people, I can remember having distinct conversations with them, and they said almost to a person, I would ask them, what has led to your success? Okay. Well, because while I'm coaching them, I'm a fool not to try to learn things from these really successful people. Okay. And they would almost tell me, to a man, to a woman, to a person, it was their vision, okay? Their vision, and sometimes it was a vision of just seeing what they could do. Other times it was a very clear vision, all right? But they had some form of vision they were driving towards. And they had a standard of performance and a quality of things they were trying to do, but it was in their mind, okay? So please, please, please understand, number one habit you need to stop is to stop drifting without a plan or a vision. All right. Think, no matter how old you are, how young you are, where you think you are in life, how down and out you are, how successful you are. Okay. I'm telling you what, success is not often a good teacher. You might not understand why you succeeded. Okay. So I want you to think. Don't get so high in your horse. Think. Then write down goals with a due date that will help you make what your vision and goals are into reality. All right. I'm going to tell you, very successful people, when they achieve that success, a lot of the times they experience a severe dip afterwards. They have a big dip. And the big dip is, the major driving purpose of their life is gone. They did it. Now what? Now what do I do now? You better get some goals really fast. You better get a new vision really fast. Okay. You better have a deep driving purpose that's filling you can pour your passion into, you can pour your time into, pour your energy into, okay? And understand how what you want and who you want to become and what you're working on are all connected. Have it all layered and nested with your mission, all those things like that, okay? And this takes some reflection. It takes some time, looking yourself in the mirror, thinking about how are you feeling? Where do you want to go? What direction, okay? What are you good at, right? What are you actually really meant to be doing? Okay. These are all things. And again, these are all things that take some time for reflection for you to work on. But then once you nail it, you're going to scale it. You're going to get after it, and you're going to put your resources behind it, your time, your energy, your money. Okay. And you're going to block off time, and you're going to get after it. All right. And that will make a huge difference. But that's the number one habit you need to stop now. Stop drifting without a plan or without a vision. Okay. And again, as always, that's right, Lisa. Discipline is fire. It's right. The Diamond Dog. Discipline is determination. And so put your questions in the chat. Anything you want me to address, and I will get to it in between each one of these little lessons. All right. Lisa, what do you do when you're afraid to have a vision because past visions perhaps didn't materialize? That's okay. That's okay. Because I'm going to tell you, don't be afraid. Courage matters so much. Stepping through your fear, have the courage to try again. Because no matter what, who you are today, right? If you look at the wreckage and you look at the failure and you look at something that didn't happen for you in the past, or however you want to define it, okay? If it was a failure, if it was a spectacular failure, if it was wreckage, if it was it just didn't work out. You want to look at what are the lessons you learned? What are the lessons you learned, okay, from that experience? What did you learn? How did you grow from it? You definitely can grow from it. You definitely have lessons to learn, okay? So I'm going to tell you, everything you've been through has real meaning and has purpose if you can derive the lessons from it and carry these forward into the new vision, okay? So take a look at what happened. Take a look at what it was you were trying to do. How did you grow from that? Okay. And you have to really take a look at an honest look. Did you actually do everything you possibly could to achieve it? Did you do everything? Okay. And if you did, then ask yourself, how did I grow from that? What did I learn from it? What was the opportunity in it for me? How did I grow as a person? Ask yourself that. And then take stock of it and understand you're better than you were before because you went after that big dream. Okay. And you are not counted among the cold, timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat, as Teddy Roosevelt once said. Okay. That in of itself builds your courage and lets you know you're kind of badass. You went after it. Okay. You're really badass. So remember that. All right. Be comfortable being uncomfortable, 100%. All right. Let's look at habit number 2 that you need to stop right now. Stop focusing on what you don't want. I'm going to say that again. Stop focusing on what you don't want. I can't tell you how often I see people doom scrolling or I hear about it and they keep having their whole feed as negativity, murder, killing, destruction, war. And they just I covered all this stuff in the last feed, right? And we're taking a look at the context in order to use it to understand what our operating environment is and make sense of the world. But after you have an idea of what's going on in the world and you make sense of it, you got to get to work, and you can't let it derail you with anger, energy, rage. Remember in my last week we talked about rage baiting. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago at this point now. We talked about rage baiting in media. They want you to keep watching, okay? This does not help you. It gives you a dopamine hit. It makes you get addicted to this negativity, to feeling things. It's a nervous habit then. You're searching it out. You don't know what else to do. You start looking for rage bait. You start looking for dopamine hits. Okay? So you got to, hey, Jasmine, how you doing? Great to have you here. I'm glad you could make it. 2 sessions today. It's a double header. Yep, that's right, Mark. And Lisa, amen. Phoenix rises back up from the ashes. But people, they fall in love with the dopamine hits from the rage bait and the fear. Okay, why do people keep watching horror movies? Okay, well, they're kind of fun too, but I mean, they can't. It's like a tragic accident. You can't turn away and not look at it, right? That's like rubbernecking on the road at an accident. You look at it because part of it makes you feel better because it's not you. Okay, but I'm telling you, your time is precious, and we're going to get into this. Okay. And one of the habits I need you to stop now is to stop focusing on what you don't want, okay? That means people. Don't focus on people that you don't want in your life, all right? It means content. That means activities. It means anything that distracts you from your almighty purpose, your main goal and mission. Hint, hint, you have to have these written down and memorized. It's got to be internalized. You got to know it, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. I'll tell you right now. And again, I'm on the journey with you. As I tell you guys, I'm in the fight with you. I'm going after mine. I'm trying to be the very best version of myself, trying to be an inspirational leader so I can create positive, lasting change in the lives of others. All right. That is my personal mission. Okay. And on my journey to do that, in the morning, I wake up, I give thanks and have gratitude as soon as my feet hit the ground for another day. Okay. And I go through some gratitude prayers and some gratitudes. And I go right into saying prayers for people I love, but then also for help for what I'm trying to accomplish and my mission. Okay. I'm not trying to act like I'm all holy or anything like that. Okay. I'm a flawed man for sure. All right. No doubt about it. Right. I'm not perfect, But I'm telling you what my process is. And what does this do? First of all, I believe it recruits a lot of help from higher power. Okay. Next of all, it mobilizes my mindset. It gets me locked in on my purpose, my intention. I feel it. I see it. I know it. Okay. I'm repeating the same things almost every day. Okay. And then I get out of there, grab a cup of coffee. I grab water with lemon in it, black coffee. I go ahead and I write down my goals again in my journal. All right. I write down, I plan out my day, what has to happen. I recheck it with my phone, all this stuff like that. I'm blocking time for important things. I'm putting stars next to the most important things. All right. The point is, I am programming my mind to know what the most important things are. I am not first thing in the morning looking at my phone. Okay. I'm not looking at, definitely not scrolling. I might look at some stats on like, how a post did or something like that, but I am definitely not scrolling any content at all. Okay. I don't do any of that. I don't turn the news on, nothing. I am programming my mind to get ready to rock and roll. I'm focusing on what I want, not what I don't want. So important. Okay. Again, everybody wants to talk about winning. Everybody wants to talk about success. Okay. Everyone wants, I talk about Bitcoin too, but everyone wants the magic Bitcoin, the magic pill, the magic strategy, the easy way to create instant wealth, create, super fit body, to have inner peace, a great relationship, a best job, all this stuff like that, to end conflict. It's going to take you going all in, having a vision, having a plan, having goals written down, and then maximizing your focus and controlling your mental thoughts. Okay. Hey, it's so good to see you too, Jasmine. I know, no problem. No problem at all. I totally understand. I know this is a big weekend for you, for the memorial for your dad and everything. So again, and I understand. And so you got to control your mental focus. It's one of the only things you have. Okay. It's one of the only things that you're truly, truly in control of, your mental focus and your attitude. Okay. We look at Viktor Frankl from Man's Search for Meaning. We talked about this in my live on Friday night in the coaching, in my membership session. Okay. My coaching members session, the community, Ferocious Optimist community. Okay. When you're down and out and things are really going against you, you must control your thoughts. You got to direct your thoughts the way you want them to go. You got to control your mental focus. Focus on what you want more of in your life, not what you don't want. Watch your thoughts. Please observe your thoughts and watch your mental focus. Are you focusing on things that you don't really want? Or are you focusing on what you truly do want? And I got news for you. Sometimes those dopamine hits from what you don't really want are easy and fast and makes you feel something. A little bit of escapism gives you variety, gives you change, gives you some excitement. Sometimes focusing on what you really want, I understand it. You see work, you see effort, you see difficulty. This is where the passion of your vision fires you up, man. When you understand your why and you visualize how it's going to feel when you accomplish it, when you become it, when you do it, when you have it, when you change it, when you end it, okay? When you crush it, when you kill it, when you get rid of it, okay? And you put what that thing is, that noun, you put that in the blanks. You fill in the blank for that, all right? Whatever it is, okay? It can be debt, can be a relationship, can be weight loss, can be, making more money. It can be getting out of a certain situation. It could be moving. It could be lots of different things, okay? It could be financial stress, all right? You think of how good that's going to feel. That's got to be your passion that drives you. The belief, that it's going to happen if you put in the work, if you do the efforts, okay? It is going to work for you, okay? Believe it, believe it, believe it. Now, we're going to drive on here to number 3, okay? Habit that you have to stop. Number 3, you need to stop avoiding. Habit you need to stop. Stop avoiding physical exercise. Okay? All things flow from your physical health, your physical fitness. Okay? I know some of you in here that I'm preaching to the choir. I don't even need to say it. Okay? I do not even need to say it. I know that. All right? But I know 100% that there are a few of you in here, quite a few probably, and people who are going to watch afterwards when it's not live, that you're avoiding physical exercise. Maybe you're young and you feel like you don't have to. Maybe you're in pretty good shape right now. You don't feel you have to, okay? I'm going to say, just like Steve Jobs said, if you don't eat your food as medicine, you'll be eating your medicine for food, okay? Stay ahead of it right now. Longevity is tied to the work you do now while you still can, All right. Health and fitness is tied to the work you do now. Build up muscle mass, increase your cardiovascular shape. And I get news for you too, okay? The better shape you're in physically, the more energy you have, the more confidence you have, the more courage you have, the more you're going to take action, the better you feel. You're bursting with energy. You're going to go kick ass. You're going to kick ass in the things that matter to you, okay? And it's going to make a huge, huge difference for you. But the physical fitness, the physical exercise makes a massive difference. I want you to run. I want you to walk. I want you to bike. I want you to do it 3 times per week for 30 minutes each. Okay? You got to stop avoiding this. So many people avoid physical activity. They just stop. They don't do it. Okay? They're avoiding the physical activity. I don't know what they're thinking. They're like, tomorrow. Tomorrow the next day. Tomorrow the next day. Okay? Yeah, for sure. For sure, Jasmine, you're right. It definitely does. No, Lisa, you don't have to worry about this one. You're the last person that has to worry about this one, for sure. But it makes a huge, huge difference. People avoid it. You got to stop avoiding it. You just got to do it. Okay? You got to also, I'm going to tell you, some people do avoid resistance training. Some people avoid it. They go for walks all the time. Like, I walk 5 miles a day. I walk 3 miles a day. You got to do resistance training. They're showing hip strength, leg strength, more muscle mass around your glutes, your butt, your hips, your legs, your quadriceps, okay, your thighs, your calves. This is going to protect you from falling. Your shoulder strength, okay? How strong are your shoulders? Do you work on them? Do you re-strengthen them, okay? This will protect you, and it'll make you more able to take issues that happen, all right? And I'm talking about young people too. I'm talking people in their 20s who just feel like they can coast, and they're eating junk food, and they're playing video games. They're not even really doing anything. Your body will adapt to what environment you put it in. It'll be like, okay, I guess we don't need all this muscle mass. Now this testosterone can get wasted. There's no reason to use it. Okay. And then the next one, closely tied to this, all about your physical energy. You need to stop eating and drinking too much and stop eating and drinking the wrong things. Low energy foods, low energy drinks. Okay. Stop eating so much sugar and low energy foods, processed meats, saturated fats, junk food. Okay. I'm telling you, it's basics, brilliance in the basics. Master of the obvious, Captain Obvious. This is a Captain Obvious, Captain Obvious live cast right now, right? Captain Obvious stream. Okay. Right. Next, stop with the alcohol. You got to stop with the alcohol. Okay. If you're going to drink, cut it down significantly. Only have it a few days a week. And if you're going to do it, don't ever have more than 2 drinks at a time. Okay? I'm going off the old Marine Corps standard that they would say. Okay? I think alcohol does a lot more damage than you think it does to you. It messes with your brain. It messes with your energy. Recent studies have shown that cancer loves alcohol. Okay? Because it turns to sugar in your bloodstream. So you got to be very careful with that. Okay? We got to cut out the smoking. I mean, people are still smoking. I know that, especially in Europe. Got to cut out the smoking, though. All right? Cut out the weed. Okay? And I want to say this. Alcohol, reduce it. If you're not going to cut it out, reduce it significantly. Weed, cut it out or reduce it significantly, okay? If it's legal where you are, right? If it's not legal where you are, I mean, why are you going to risk yourself and getting in trouble? Okay? It's just stupid. If you're abusing prescription drugs, and trust me, I talk to people all the time that are, and they think they're slick, and some people are very successful and very smart. You got to stop that too. Okay? It's going to mess with your focus, with your energy, your ability to do what needs to be done to accomplish what you want to accomplish. When your purpose is strong enough, when you have a big enough why, you can overcome any how. And if that includes overcoming addiction, overcoming really bad habits, let's not even say addiction. Let's say bad habits, really bad habits, with eating, with drinking, with smoking, with X, Y, and Z, all these things, okay? You got to cut this stuff out, all right? All right, let me answer a question here. Lisa, how one can deal with or organize oneself when there are so many excellent podcasts? Okay, YouTube video one wants to listen to learn to so many interesting things and can't. I would prioritize. You know what I mean? I would definitely prioritize. I think you can train your algorithm. Again, consuming the content, right? This is focusing on a habit of focus and what you're consuming, the content you're consuming. Train your algorithm to look for certain things. Who you subscribe to, unsubscribe to people that don't matter to you as much. Put alerts on for certain people. You can train your algorithm that way and train your channel that way, so that it'll give you what you're looking for. It'll give you what you're looking for. And that's really um, really important. So that's what I would advise. And don't get overwhelmed. Just pick one thing a day. Pick one thing a day. And I want to say this: the clearer your vision becomes, okay, more clearly you write your vision down, you write down your goals, you write down what you want. When you know really what you want and you know what you don't want too, your priorities are in place. It's easier to select what you're going to watch and what you're going to listen to. Okay. But it's when you're all over the place and you're just like, oh, a little bit of this, oh, a little bit of that. That's interesting. Because I don't know what I want to be. I don't know who I'm going to be. I don't know what I want to be. Okay. When you don't narrowly define what you're trying to accomplish. Remember, the intensity of focus is what gets things done. When you focus intensely, you put all your energy, like a laser beam is focused. Like when you take a magnifying glass, you hold it up to the sun and you watch it start to burn a leaf or burn paper when the beam gets so tightly defined and focused. Okay? That's how you focus your energy and you get things done. But if your aperture is so wide, meaning you don't really know, so your scope of what you're looking at is so wide, there's so many things that come into view. Okay? So I would start first with your priorities, your vision, your goals, and I would have the content you listen to aligned to your goals and what you want to accomplish, who you want to be, what you want to learn, okay? And things that are interesting to you, of course, too. Okay? Like, I mean, I will definitely consume some music things, look at some music documentaries. I'll look at things about like aliens and UFOs. You guys know I like that stuff and talk about that, but it's not my main thing. A lot of the times I'm consuming business strategy, national security strategy, life strategy, psychology, performance, human performance, all those things like that, because I'm trying to get better at what I do and learn more and more about what I do, because it's also fascinating to me. I love what I do. Okay. So just try to narrow down what you're going to study about. And then maybe every now and then you have like a free day where you just kind of drift around and find things that are cool. Okay. But again, your time is your most precious resource. All right. Let's go. Here we go. Number 5. This is a big one. This is a huge one. And it took me a long time to learn this. Okay. A habit that you need to stop doing, the 5th habit you need to stop doing, okay, is this. Stop trying to do it alone. Stop trying to go it alone. Okay? Get a community of positive, supportive people around you. All right? You become who you surround yourself with. Find a mentor, find a coach, take a course, take a class, go to a seminar. Stop trying to do it alone. If your habit is to isolate and your habit is to go internal and your habit is like, I'll figure it out on my own, I'm strong. I'm telling you, a lot of high achievers who are smart and strong, I'm going to say this too. I'm going to say it. Sounds crazy. I'm going to say it. To me, it's crazy. You haven't heard it yet. People who did really well in school, if you were a really good student, you had really good grades, you learned, usually if you did it alone, you don't need anybody. Genius level people sometimes don't need people. They think that. But as complexity increases, you need people. The smartest geniuses I know are people who realize I'm good in this one thing, or I'm good in a couple things. But to really get major things done, I need a team. Okay? Build your team no matter what. Don't think that you can go it alone. And sometimes you don't want to. You don't want to reach out for help. You isolate. This is also a sign of trauma. Okay? If you have post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic stress, isolation, avoidance, these are all part of PTSD and TBI, traumatic brain injury. Okay? And it's also people who have suffered abuse. They avoid, they isolate. All right? Don't isolate. Please, I beg you, don't isolate. Don't try to go it alone. Get help, get a community, get a coach, get a mentor. And sometimes I won't say get friends, Yeah, get friends, that helps. But I'm talking people who really are doing what you want to do. People who are either they're in a group of like people who support each other, like my Ferocious Optimist community, for example. Okay. Or you're in some kind of like, society like that, or you take a class, or you're in a membership, or you're in a seminar. Okay. You take a course. Um, you know, these things will make a big difference for you. All right. They will make a big difference. Don't try to go it alone. One of my most professionally trying times ever, I realized that having an outside expert who had been there and done that in what I was trying to do, who could look at my situation objectively, would make all the difference in the world for me. And it did. Okay. Take advantage of the resources around you. Please come to a full stop if you have no one helping you, and find help. All right. Again, my Ferocious Optimist community, my membership, and I'm there for you. Okay. My community is there for you. The membership's there for you. The coaching sessions we do, I'll take, a quick pause to talk about that. But we have a coaching session once a month, live group coaching session. We just did one this Friday for about 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. I taught for about an hour and 20 minutes. And then we did Q&A with the group for about an hour. It's fantastic. Okay. I talked about it in the first session as well too. And I've got such amazing people in there who are very capable. I've got entrepreneurs. I've got, founders of companies. I've got, career professionals. I've got some really artistic people, some very cool, kind people, very supportive as well. All kinds of different people that are amazing. But I'm going to tell you, they can answer questions sometimes better than I can on some things. Okay. So in the Q&A, they'll jump in there and help each other. They DM each other. And during the live Q&A, I'll say my little bit, and then they jump in and they contribute too. It's really cool, man. It's fantastic. So this is a great community. This is what I know. I'm telling you what I know. You can research and find your own stuff too, okay? But this is something I have available for you. It's $87.99 per month. It's a great membership. There's also some members-only offers that are within the membership too, to do one-on-one coaching with me, things like that. But whether it's me or it's somebody else, or it's a course, or it's a program, or seminar, please get something. Get someone that can guide you, okay? And like I said, this is my fiduciary responsibility to you. My whole mission in life, my mission written down, is to be an inspirational leader to help create positive, lasting change in the lives of others. Okay, that's it. I'm going to exit this world someday, and I want to know that I made a difference to as many people as possible. That's my goal. That's my mission. Okay, and I can't think of any other way to spend my life, and that's more satisfying, more joyful, more fulfilling than doing that. Okay, so there it is. But you don't do it alone. You got to stop doing it alone. You got to get a community around you. And at a minimum, keep showing up to these lives and having fun here, okay? Because I love having you guys here. It's fantastic, and I appreciate all of your support so much, letting me do what I love. You guys are awesome, are absolutely awesome. Find that outside expert to guide you, okay? Number 6 of the habits, okay? Number 6 of the top 10 habits you need to stop doing right now because it's destroying your life. Number 6, but not necessarily last, is you need to stop the negative self-talk. Negative self-talk will destroy you. As I've asked so many times in inspirational speaking, public speaking, motivational speaking, I've done before in the past in front of big groups, how many of you here have ever said and ever asked yourself the question, why am I such a dumbass? Raise your hand. Who here has asked that? I know I have. Okay. And it wasn't that long ago. And I catch myself now because I teach this stuff, right? Why am I such a dumbass? Well, I'm going to tell you what. If you ask yourself, why are you such a dumbass? Why am I such a dumbass? You're going to come up with many reasons of why you're such a dumbass. Okay? Ask yourself better questions. You're going to get better answers. You will get better answers. Ask better questions. You'll get better answers. Get better answers. You'll solve better problems in a better way. And life will get better. You'll perform better. Okay? Remember we talked about in the beginning. Habits are crucial. Build habits around the things you can control. Don't count on luck. Don't worry about talent. You got the talent you got. Can you improve your talent? Yes, you can. You can improve your skills, your abilities. You can hone your talent. Okay? You can get better, right? You got the genetics you got. Can you take advantage of the genetics you got? Yes, you can. Okay? You'd actually be very surprised at how far you can take your physical abilities through hard work. People think, well, I'm not genetically gifted like he is or she is, and therefore I can't get in good shape because they're naturally just like that. You'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised what an intense training regimen can do for your body and how it can change you and how you might just be carrying a little extra fat, which can be dealt with, okay, as an example. All right. But along the way, if you ask yourself the wrong questions, like, why am I such a dumbass? Why am I so stupid? Why am I such an effing idiot? Sound familiar? You know it's familiar. You know it is. We've all been there. Okay. You will get those answers. And it'll reinforce you on the unconscious level. And your mind will be like, well, I am a dumbass. And so I do dumbass things. Slightly, just a little bit under the radar, under the surface, your mind will think that way. And then you'll perform like a dumbass and like an idiot and like an effing idiot. Okay. And then you give yourself a pass and say, oh, I'm such a dumbass anyway. Oh, I'm so forgetful. Oh, yeah, who does that? Oh, I'm big boned. Therefore, it's okay to eat more, too much, right? It's not because you're not eating too much, it's because you're big boned. I don't see many big boned people in Ethiopia. I hate to tell you, okay? There's no food, right? Maybe it's a little harsh, but I'm being serious, okay? I'm going to tell you what, okay? If you're saying things to yourself like, oh, I'm so forgetful, you're reinforcing it, all right? Oh, I'm so clumsy. You're reinforcing it. All right. Give yourself a pass. Be your own best friend. Speak to yourself in the right way. Okay. Ask yourself better questions. Ooh, why did I drop that? Oh, why am I stumbling? Because you're usually distracted. You have monkey mind. They call it monkey brain, right? Monkey mind. Your mind's all over the place. You're distracted. You're thinking of 10 different things. You aren't focused. You aren't calm. You're not breathing right. You're not drinking enough water. You didn't get enough sleep. All these basic things. You'll start saying this negative self-talk loop to yourself, and you will create this shroud, this curtain over your mind. It's going to mess you up. Okay? Ask yourself better questions, you get better answers. Ask yourself, what's the lesson to be learned in this when you mess up? Okay? Ask yourself this. How can I grow from this when the results weren't what you wanted? Okay? Ask yourself, how does this situation serve me now? What's the opportunity in this? What can I get out of this? Okay? When it's a situation that you didn't plan for and you didn't really want, but you're stuck in it. Okay? Again, focus on what you can control. Number one thing you can control is your focus, the meaning you assign to things, your attitude about the situation, and seeing how can you get some lemonade out of the lemons you've been served. Okay? How can you see the silver lining in those clouds? How can you see that the glass is half full instead of half empty? And this starts with your self-talk. Jasmine, I saw you mentioned it earlier. Self-talk will tear you apart. Self-talk will tear you apart, okay? Your mental focus and your self-talk are so, so important. You've got to make sure that you are, saying the right things, okay? You got to make sure you're saying the right things to yourself, okay? Too often, we pump other people up, and then we are we want to put ourselves down and we think it's good. We don't want to shine too brightly in front of people. So, we're very self-effacing. We put ourselves down and, we get uncomfortable when people compliment us. Stand tall. Accept the compliment. It's a gift. I was told that once. It's a gift. Accept it and say thank you. Okay? And if you do something well, you don't have to make fun of yourself. Don't sit there and put yourself down, degrade yourself. Now, you don't want to be a big arrogant jerk either. Right? But you don't have to also put yourself down. Instead, you can maybe focus on, how good you feel about, I worked very hard on this. I feel good about what happened. You don't need to be a big jerk. I'm the greatest ever. I'm the best ever, right? You don't need to say that. There's a big difference between being arrogant and putting yourself down or putting yourself in check. Okay? So, your self-talk and the way you think about yourself matters a lot. And I'm going to tell you, self-esteem and self-trust is directly tied to you keeping small promises to yourself, which will impact the way you talk to yourself. So you plan on doing a workout, go do it. You're going to love yourself for it. Your self-esteem will go up, your self-trust, and your confidence. And therefore, because you're confident, you'll take more risk on the things that you want to accomplish. You'll take more chances on things you haven't done yet. You're like, you know what, though? I know I'll do the work. Okay? So I know I'll do the work. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'll do the work to learn how it is. I'll form the best discipline and the habits to grow into it. So yes, I'll try it. Yes, I'll do it. Yes, I can do that. Okay? That matters so much. Keeping promises to yourself, keeping the small little promises matters a lot. All right, let's move on to the next habit. Put it in the chat if any of these if any of these resemble you. Okay? They probably resemble all of us in some way, shape, or form. And here we go. We just talked about self-trust and self-worth. Here it is, a really powerful one. Of the 10 negative habits that you need to stop doing right now because it's destroying your life, number 7, stop believing you aren't worthy or enough. I'm going to say it again. Stop believing you aren't worthy or enough. Okay? This is so important. How do you get yourself to feel you are worthy and enough? First of all, saying it to yourself, your self-talk. Second of all, keeping the small promises to yourself. You said you're going to work out, you do it. You said you're not going to eat that crap, don't do it. Take the pain. You said you're not going to smoke, don't do it. Okay? Even if you stumble, even if you fall, you're still worthy. Don't beat yourself up. Every now and then, a little negative self-talk can disrupt your pattern, but don't keep it up. Make sure you build yourself back up. Okay? You're mad at yourself. Maybe you kept doing something you said you weren't going to do, but then pick it back up and tell yourself, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. You got to be like you're the pilot of this craft. You're piloting this like in Pacific Rim. You're in one of these giant friggin' robots, okay? And you're piloting it. You're the Ben pilot, right? I'm in there controlling myself, and I tell myself, I know you can do it. Let's get it going. Let's form friggin' Blazing Sword on their ass. All right? Let's go ahead and take it. Tell me if you know about Blazing Sword. Some of you don't know. Some of you do. We're going to see who's who and what's what in a minute. If you know about forming Blazing Sword. Form Blazing Sword on them, baby. That's what you got to do sometimes. All right? I understand that, Jasmine. I understand that. And this is the way we undo it, though. We're going to undo it. We're going to undo it. Okay? The narcissistic abuse and all those things. Okay? The self-worth. By positive self-talk, by keeping promises to yourself, by proving to yourself that you can and you will. Take little steps. I'm going to do the workout today. You do it. Boom, self-esteem. I'm going to stop eating this crap today. Boom, you do it. Self-esteem. I'm going to have a plan that I'm going to accomplish this goal. 30 days, for 30 days straight, I'm going to work out. I'm going to walk or I'm going to lift weights. And I'm going to take one day off a week. Boom, you do it. More self-esteem, more self-trust. I'm going to stop spending money on this dumb thing, okay? And I'm going to cut out this expenditure and I'm going to stop using my credit card, for example, okay? Boom, you do it. Self-esteem, self-trust. All right, we're following a little bit of Dave Ramsey's advice there in that one, okay? The more you keep promises to yourself, the more self-esteem you'll have, the more self-trust you'll have. Therefore, the more courage and confidence you will have, okay? And then you will take action on the things that you want to go after in life. And if you fail, you'll get back up and you'll do it again because you realize, I know I can learn it. I know I can grow it into it. I know I can get the skills and the abilities because I have the energy, I have the enthusiasm, I got the passion, and I believe in myself that I can form the discipline, I can form the habits to overcome this thing, to learn this thing, to end that thing, to do this thing, to crush that thing, to whatever it takes. Okay? And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You got to believe that you're worthy, that you're enough. Greatness is within you. You only have to uncover it and develop it. It's all within you. You are pure potential. You're pure energy. Where the hell where do we come from? Okay? You know how much, do you know your body is an electrical generator? It puts off electricity. It generates electricity. This is an incredible machine. Your chance of being alive is like 1 in 65 million or something crazy, or 300 million. Okay? That means you're special. Nobody tells you you're not special. You are special. You're friggin' special. And I'm going to tell you, each and every one of us has a unique special genius inside of us. When we work on it, when we develop it, we become our highest and best self, okay? Our highest and best selves. We unleash our energy and our potential. We become the highest and best version of ourselves to bring to the world. And that's our unique special abilities, our unique special genius that we have inside of us, all right? You are pure light and pure energy. Do the things I'm talking about now. Stop these negative habits that I'm talking about now in order to maximize your true potential. And life will change. Life will change. The way you feel will change. And when you feel better quality of emotions, you feel better, life gets better. Okay? No matter what else is going on. If you're feeling good, you're like, yeah, I can hang with it. I can do it. I can outlast this. I can do it. Okay? The quality of your emotions equals the quality of your life. The quality of your relationships will also matter too. Okay? But number one, point, period, paragraph is you got to exist within yourself. You got to take care of home first. Self-leadership. And this is what we're talking about right now. Okay? This is what we're talking about. Let's see if we have any questions. All right. Ding, ding, ding. That's right. More than worthy. More than worthy. Okay. Now, next, number 8. Number 8 in the 10 habits that you need to stop immediately because they're destroying your life. All right. Number 8 of these habits is to stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your time. Make a plan for your time each day. Treat it like someone gave you some gold, like a gold bar or a Bitcoin. Protect it and fill it with important things. Okay? Your time is your most precious resource. It's you who decides what to do with your time. No one else can decide. Really peel back the onion. In the end of the day, you don't need to really do anything. You decide. What's the trade-off? Time for money? That's fine. We all do that. We all do that for some way, shape, or form. My time for what? Am I going to pour eating bad stuff in for my time? Consuming negativity, toxic content, things that make me nervous, things that make me scared, things that give me dopamine hit, things that are escapism and I just lose my time. Okay. Some escapism is okay, right? You're watching Netflix, you're having a good time, whatever. Every now and then that's good. You want to keep your blood pressure down. Okay. For sure. For sure. You need to relax. Make no mistake. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm saying every day you need to put some time and energy into the things that you're trying to accomplish. Okay. You know, if you're trying to be better at your job, take some extra time doing emails, take some extra time learning more about the job, take some extra time preparing to be promoted. Okay. If you're trying to build a business, take some extra time getting better at your business and better at what you're doing. If you're trying to get better physical fitness, make sure you block off time every single day to work on your health and your fitness. And make sure you take time for meal prep. Okay. And for groceries and all that stuff. If you're trying to improve your finances, make sure you take time, you block off the time to work on your finances and your budget, and you learn about investing, and you really scrub what your expenses are. You know, I did a scrubbing of my credit cards the other day. I was like, damn, where the hell did this come from? Where did that come from? What's this? What's that? Okay. I had some subscriptions on there that I didn't need. And I was like, what the frig is this? All right. Whatever you, please understand, guys. All right, here we go. Like I said before, ding, 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 ding. This is huge, hugely important. Whatever it is you want in life, whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, if you pour your time into it, you block off time consistently, you block off energy, you put time and energy and resources behind it and your focus behind it, and you do that with giving yourself permission that you can, that you believe in yourself and that you're worthy of the success you're looking for or the change you're looking for, you will do it. This is how it works. You can and you will do it. That's it. Okay? Vast majority of the time, people think it's only going to take a short amount of time to get this thing done. Give yourself more time. Commit to the success. Commit to the change. Go all in, total commitment. Do 10 times more than you think it takes to get it done. If you do 10 times more than you originally thought it'll take to get it done, I'm telling you, you're going to succeed. Guaranteed success. 10x, baby. Go 10 times in. Okay? Be resourceful. Find a way. You can do it. And yeah, it'll be hard. It'll be hard. And maybe it won't be. You might have sudden victory too and be like, well, that was easy. Ben's wrong. I hope I am. Okay? But just in case, be ready for the long haul. And just fall in love with the work and the process. And the thing is, you're going to love yourself more. More self-trust, more self-esteem, more self-confidence, more courage. You're going to be tougher, okay? Because you went for it and you did it and you battled. Your muscles are going to go to work, your willpower muscles, everything, okay? Stop wasting your time, though. Make a plan. Stop doom scrolling, focusing on negativity. Work on small steps for your goals each and every day. Your time is your most precious resource. We all have 24 hours in each day, 60 minutes in each hour, and 60 seconds in each minute. It's what you do with that time that will determine the course of your destiny in your life. All right? Next, The next habit we need to stop. Okay? The next of the 10 habits that are destroying our lives that we need to stop immediately, number 9, is to stop wasting your money. Stop wasting your money. Okay? Your income is your number one weapon to create wealth and to help your financial future. Your income. I don't care how much you make. I don't care. Okay? You need to make sure that you are protecting that income and maximizing it, using it to your absolute utmost. Okay? One of the things I would encourage you to stop doing, stop eating out all the time. Okay? You don't have enough time. You say you don't have time, so you don't plan, so you're eating out all the time. You're paying more money. Okay? Stop the subscriptions that you don't need anymore. Stop spending money you don't have on credit and not paying off the cards at the end of each month. I know that's a big problem. I talked about it on Thursday. I know it is. But you can make a change now. You can make the change. Okay? And I'm not saying you're going to be able to pay off all your credit cards just yet, but at least you can start thinking about it. All right? Don't put your head in the sand. Face it squarely. Start creating a plan. I'll tell you, a great thought partner is ChatGPT. Ask it questions. How do I do this? Tell it to act like a financial planner. Act like a top financial planner, top wealth builder, and act like, you can name a few of the gurus out there, okay? And they will help you design a plan and create a budget, and it'll ask you questions. It's really good. Stop buying luxury to feel good and impress people. People are buying luxury to feel good and impress people. This is an internal thing. You're good enough and you're worthy as you are. If you don't have the money to buy these things, or if you do have the money, but it should be allocated into investments, or it should be allocated to pay off credit card debt, or it should be allocated for other things like an emergency fund, and you're buying it to buy Louis Vuitton, to buy Gucci, to buy a Rolex, to buy something fancy, I don't know, to buy a car that's too expensive, okay? You're going to put yourself in a bad way. And then when you're strapped for money, your decision space goes down because fear goes up, anxiety goes up, peace of mind goes down. Next thing you know, you don't feel so free to think about what your goals are and your vision is. Your only goal and vision becomes survival level. Like I talked about the core vital human interests and core vital needs, right? The core vital human interests, number 1, security and stability. Number 2, right behind it, economic prosperity. Economic prosperity, meaning your financial security, your financial abundance, your financial independence, all those things. Okay, but financial security is first. If you don't have economic security, financial security, life's going to get stressful. It's going to get very stressful. Okay? So again, this habit is to stop wasting your money. Stop buying luxury to feel good and impress people. Next, stop buying too expensive of a car and keeping it. Next, stop buying too expensive of a house and keeping it. Okay? Your income, again, is your number 1 weapon to create wealth and to help you in your financial future. Okay? Any questions? Any questions in the chat? Let me see here. Okay, what would you advise for hip arthritis? Artificial hip? Ooh. Yeah, I agree. I agree with what Jasmine said. I agree. The stem cells. Yeah, Mark, I agree with that. Fiscal discipline took you decades to learn that. You and me both, brother. Understand what you're saying. Lisa, question about the hip. Here's what I would say. A couple things out there. Stem cells, 100%. If you have access to stem cells, if you can do that, I think they do it in Mexico. I think they do it in Europe, as Jasmine's saying. Research that. Something else, if it's bursitis, they do injections for that too. If you haven't done that, the next thing is body protection compound, BPC 157. It's a peptide I think is fantastic. I swear by BPC 157. The peptide works wonders for joints, I've heard it working on arthritis. I've heard it working on muscle tears. I've heard it working on lots of different things. Okay. Gastrointestinal problems. So check out BPC 157. It is a peptide, and I think it can really make a difference for you. Okay. Okay. All right. Here it is, guys. We ready? This is the last habit. This is the one. The last habit that you need to stop. If you have this habit, you need to stop doing this habit because it is destroying you. It literally is destroying. It's destroying your future. It's destroying your present. It is messing you up. And that habit is stop procrastinating. Stop taking half measures and procrastinating, okay? Procrastination and taking half measures is based in fear and anxiety. This is fear-based. You are not doing something because you feel like doing it will be more painful and more fearful than not doing it. That's the whole reason, okay? I'm going to tell you again, I've said it before, all human behavior, I talked about this on Friday with my coaching membership, okay? My Ferocious Optimist community and coaching membership. All human behavior does one of three things. It protects you, it serves you, or it provides for you, okay? Or it serves something that you believe in and care about. It protects you, it serves something you care about, or it provides for you, okay? When you procrastinate, you are protecting yourself from more pain and more fear. You need to understand when you feel anxiety and you start procrastinating, you feel that kind of apathy and you're like, I can't even think about it. You feel that block come on for procrastination. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to distract myself. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do something else besides what needs to actually be done because you're afraid of it and you think it's painful and it hurts for some reason. It's uncomfortable because maybe you don't know how to do it, okay? Or you're afraid of what they're going to tell you if you make the phone call. You're afraid of looking at the account because you're afraid what's going to show up. This is real stuff, real talk, man. You're afraid. You're afraid to go to the doctors, hear what they have to say. So you procrastinate. And guess what? It makes things worse. Snowballs. It all snowballs. Okay? You got to stop procrastinating. It is killing you, literally in some cases. Okay? This is also based in a lack of self-trust and self-belief. You have to have a bias for action. When you feel that anxiety kicking up, that fear of something, this should be your new spidey sense to take action. It's a call to action that I know I'm going to grow if I do this. I know there'll be a better day tomorrow if I take action on this today. It might be hard. Yes, it might be. I need to step into this fear, this uncomfortable situation, attack this procrastination, get over this anxiety, and I need to do it. Okay? This is why on my shirts, you look at my warrior shirt, it says courage and discipline. Okay? You look at my hoodies that are in my merch store, right? Courage and discipline on each sleeve. You look at my mugs that I have for sale, courage and discipline. If you have courage and you have discipline, nothing can stop you. Nothing will stop you. And that's what I want to see every day when I drink my coffee. I want to see courage and discipline, okay? And that I'm a ferocious optimist. You got to have courage and discipline. Taking action is the most important thing. It takes courage and it takes discipline to do that. Taking action is based on having huge amounts of desire and not being afraid to face your desire as well. Not just facing your fear. Sometimes we want something so badly that it makes us afraid. It makes us afraid that we might find out we're not good at it. Or we might find out we're not good enough if we try. That's scary. I've always wanted to be this thing. I always wanted to be I don't know. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to be an actor. I always wanted to be, a senior manager at this place. I always wanted to be a cop. But I was too damn afraid to find out what I would do when I was confronted with danger out there on the streets. That's real stuff. I always wanted to be a Marine or a special operator. But Jesus, excuse my language, but damn. Again, my language. I'm too afraid. I'm too afraid to find out what I'll really do in combat. That's a real fear. That's a real fear for all military guys, for sure. All special operators. I know a lot of guys. You have to keep thinking about until you've been to combat. And even after you've been, you're going to go again. And you go again, you get better and better at it. But there's the fear factor. How am I going to act? What's going to happen? Am I going to freeze up? God, I hope I don't freeze up. These are real fears, right? Then usually you're so busy you can't even think. When actually things are happening, you're so busy and you're doing so much work. There's not like a big, now I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have had situations where I was frozen by fear. After a prolonged engagement, prolonged firefight and engagement, where my adrenaline dumped and I was with one of my guys and, we started taking some gunfire, some machine gun fire and cracking around and stuff. And you feel this wash of you come over you of paralyzing fear. Okay. But because we were together, you're able to kind of work yourself up and be like, okay, and you keep moving. But these are real things, and you have to push through these fears. You got to push through the fear of, first of all, fear of not being good enough. As a Marine, if your fear of not being good enough means you weren't brave enough to do what you had to do your job in combat. Real stuff. Will my body seize up? I don't care. I don't care if you're a badass MMA fighter. I don't care if you're a badass in training. I don't care if you're this, that, and you're an all-American football player. When those rounds start flying around, I'm going to tell you what, when you realize the finality of combat, that one small piece of metal can take you out and no one will ever see you again and you'll never see them again, this changes the way you think, okay? And if you've been there, put it in the chat. You know what I'm talking about. I know a couple of you have. And if you're watching this after, please put in a comment about it. I don't talk about this stuff much, but I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of people out there in seasoned social media who just act like they think they're their baddest ass thing. I'll tell you what, man, I've never seen anybody in a real situation that has been, that has not felt something. Okay. Or they're in repetitive engagements in an environment that could kill them every day and not look at that with humility. Okay. And some of them that didn't died. Some of them that didn't, that tried to play a role, got killed. Just saying. Okay. Scary stuff. Very, very, a very harsh environment, very cold environment. And that's not what we're doing right now, but Ben's having a moment here. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about right now anymore. But, so we got to push through the procrastination and push through the anxiety. Okay. Remember, face your fear, but also face the fear of your desire. Not just achieving your desire, but facing the fear that maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not. So what? Just do it. Who cares if you fail? If you failed or you weren't good enough, remember, it's not over till you quit. You can always get better. So go for it. Don't procrastinate. Go for it. Take the face shot. Fall down on your face. Learn that you're not enough at that time. Learn that yours wasn't good enough. Learn that you don't have enough, that you got to fix this, that you got to do that you got to go through some kind of procedure, whatever. Freaking step into it. I'm talking to me as much as I'm talking to you guys. Okay. I hope you realize that. I'm on the journey with you. I'm not the mighty guru up on the hill. Listen to Ben. Oh, I'm in the fight. Okay. And this is what I know that works. Okay. So remember, desire plus action, okay, equals success. And I've told you guys before, the people I've coached over the years, I've been a full-time executive coach, life coach, and business strategist, business coach for about 7 years now. Okay. And I've worked with some of the most successful people in this country, some very successful people around the world. I've worked with celebrities, sports people, you name it. Okay. Some of them at a very high level, some, like I said, celebrities, some still very successful, but maybe not so well known. Okay. From all walks of life, all different arenas and industries. And what I want to say is the thing I've seen for people who achieve more of what they wanted to achieve than those who don't is success comes from those who want it the most and are willing to sacrifice and put in the work. And success also comes from those who take action. They take action. They don't procrastinate. Even if it wasn't good enough when they tried, they keep going and learning and growing and developing. They have a growth mindset. Okay. And that's the thing you have to have. And they don't go it alone. They don't go it alone. When they know something can help them, when they see, a course or a seminar or a class or a coach or a mentor or a group that can help them, okay, some type of industry expert, they take advantage of it and they use it, okay? They get help and they use it. Every professional athlete you see has several coaches. Every successful executive you see, C-suite executives, they have coaches, okay? They go back for re-education, for continuing education. You want to get better in your job? Find out what the certifications are you need, or find out or talk to somebody who's been there. Ask them what they did. Maybe you need a business coach. Maybe you need to take another course. Maybe get certified in something. Refresh your knowledge base. It will keep you ahead of the game. And get an accountability circle of successful people who are positive, supportive, all trying to accomplish something more who can support you, hold you accountable in a positive way on your journey. It'll make all the difference in the world for you. Okay, guys? All right, let's do a little Q&A right now. That concludes the presentation of the 10 habits that you need to stop now because they're destroying your life. So hopefully you guys got a lot out of that. I'll take any questions you guys have right now in the chat. So let me know. What do we have here? Let me see. Hey, Lady Ann. All right, let's see. Any questions, guys? Throw a question in the chat. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? You're professionally late. Don't worry. You can watch the replay. Lady Ann, you almost died at 19? Made you extra disciplined. Okay. Hey, Lisa, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hopefully it helps everybody. And remember, guys, like I said, check out my Ferocious Optimist coaching community and my membership. The link is in the bio in YouTube. If you have questions about it, you can ask me on Instagram, but take a look at it. Click on the link in YouTube. Take a look at the programs I have available. But definitely look at the Ferocious Optimist coaching community and membership. It's amazing. I talked about it in the last session, but we do a live once a month, a group coaching session. It's a private Zoom call, okay? And I coach for about an hour and 15 minutes, and then we do Q&A for about an hour as well. Sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. I stay as long as you guys have questions. And I hang that in the members area where you can replay it as many times as you want, unlimited replays. I hang my presentation, also very important, in the members area, and you can download that and use it as much as you want to accompany the video and learn from it. Use it as you see fit, okay? And we have the community as well. We're daily Q&A, daily DMing. I coach a lot of people through DMs as well. A lot of inspiration from different members in the community and myself in the Q&A area. We have a leaders board. We have challenges. It's really cool. And it's a fantastic group of people, if I do so say so myself. Very capable, smart, supportive, some amazing people in there. I'll just tell you, it's very cool. And every day I feel very lucky that I'm able to be, interacting with all the amazing people in the community. And I know you'll love it too. So check that out, please. The link is in my bio in YouTube and Instagram. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram and I can tell you more about it. But it definitely doesn't cost you anything to click on the link and check it out either. And there's about a 6 or 7 minute video that will actually walk you through the membership within that link. Okay. You'll see Ben's coaching membership and community. And you can watch this 6 or 7 minute video. I'll actually take you inside the membership, what it's like to interface in the computer, some of the sessions, what they look like. And it's pretty cool. It's really cool. Pretty proud of that. So check it out. All right. What questions do we have here? What trauma? Okay. What trauma? Okay. I think this is for me. What trauma PTSD treatment do you find to work best? So for me, I went through like, a thing called the National Intrepid Center of Excellence, and it's called NICO. And it was comprehensive with like talk therapy. Okay. Talk therapy and a number of other techniques that are within that too, who a therapist would understand, like a licensed clinical social worker, psychiatrist, psychologist, that they would understand, some of the techniques, like some of the visualization techniques, things like that. Some semi-hypnotic type things as well. I also went through acupuncture as well, along with physical therapy, and then also occupational therapy. So I did a very comprehensive thing because a lot of times when we're experiencing PTSD, it's comprehensive. There's usually chronic pain involved. People have chronic pain. They've got some type of trauma that has really, shaken them. So they've lost that self-trust. They lost the self-belief. They have anxiety. They do avoidance. They avoid anything, person, topic dealing with that. Okay. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I couldn't have been in the war room in that podcast. I couldn't have done that a couple of years ago. It was just been too overwhelming for me, and being with those guys really helped me a lot too, because they're a great group of guys. And then being with all of you and talking about what I talk about, like you notice, I don't talk a whole lot about all this stuff, about the military stuff, but I wouldn't have talked about it at all before, completely avoiding it. I was kind of done with all that stuff. I still love the Marine Corps, still love military, but it's just, this is where I was at. And so I find that the kind of comprehensive stuff works. So you need to heal physically. You need to be able to unwind some of the trauma you've been through. I think talk therapy would work with a licensed clinical social worker or a psychologist, because I think a lot of the times when you're able to speak about these things, all of a sudden you realize I'm okay. Yeah, I said what it was. This is exactly what it is. I'm okay. And they kind of reaffirm you. Yeah, you are okay. Do you feel you're okay? Yeah. And maybe there was something that happened to you or something you did or whatever that is really hanging you up. You can't get past it, And so I think you got to be able to take a look at it and say, well, this is what it was and this is what it is. And then dealing with the chronic pain, dealing with the fact that you're okay, making amends. I always say that too. It's important. You have to make amends with things that have happened or come to acceptance, because there's a cycle of grieving, right? And the grieving cycle is the shock and trauma and anger that happens in the beginning. But then acceptance. You got to hit acceptance and move on and then build your life from there. Okay. But typically it's a combination of a lot of things. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps, Lady Ann. I think that was you asking me that. Or maybe that's Lisa. I'm sorry, Lisa. Lisa, I hope that helps. Hey, thanks, Mark. I really appreciate it, man. Guys, I really appreciate your comments. Please throw a comment in there for me. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hope you all are. But hit the like button. It helps me out, helps the channel out, helps reach more people. And then when you put in a comment, just put something in there. It helps the channel out as well. Helps YouTube to see. The algorithm will start, making it reach more people. If you share the episode, that'll help a lot as well. So please, if you think this will help somebody, I'm going to put chapters in this. Like I always put chapters. So if you know somebody that the PTSD discussion at the end will help, that'll be there. They can go right to it. Or you can share that specific segment. You can go in my videos and share a specific chapter. I just realized that the other day. Like if you don't want to send the whole 2-hour video, you send this 1 5-minute portion to someone. Okay. Maybe it's the finance section. Maybe it's some of the habits I'm talking about. Maybe it's one habit, someone needs to end, and the way you like the way I explain it, you can send that to them. So I'm going to break this up into each chapter of all the 10 habits and then the discussion afterwards. But that helps me out as well too, guys. So I really appreciate your support and you guys supporting me to grow the channel so we can grow this live community we have going on here as well. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, of course. Thanks, Lady Ann. Awesome. I'm so glad, Lisa. Hey, awesome. Thanks to Diamond Dog. I appreciate it. I'm really glad to help you guys any way I can. Like I said, it's my mission, my personal mission in life. So what else, guys? What else? Anything else? Any other questions? My son's coming over in a little while. We're gonna watch a movie and hang out. I think my dog's gonna come over, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. But I got time. I got time for some Q&A. Yeah, BPC 157. Okay, yeah, Lisa used that as well. Check out the BPC 157, guys. I do believe in peptides. Any questions about peptides? I think it's super important. Man, you're lucky. You got that for free. The deal. Cool. Let's see. Any other questions? I'll hang out for another minute. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, okay, let's see here. Let me see anything else. All right. Hey, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all being here. Again, if you have any last second questions, throw in there. Okay. Yep. PTSD is serious. Any other tips for dealing with it? Yeah. Yeah, I think like I said, I think that's the most important thing is to get into some type of program. I think that matters a lot. Phoenix, I think, definitely talk therapy helps. Okay. But I think you want to take a look at, understanding the symptoms of PTSD. Avoidance is a big one. Okay. I think, getting with a good licensed clinical social worker, getting with a good psychologist, I think looking if there's some type of association to, are you in pain and chronic pain? Um, are you having a major life change right now? Is there a toxic relationship in your life that keeps on re-traumatizing you? Okay, this is important stuff, Next, like I told you guys about, we got to stop the poisoning, but sometimes the poisoning is toxic relationships, toxic people. Are there people who don't have your best interest at heart, or they think they do, but they're re-traumatizing you? All these things, all right? EMDR therapy, that's it. Mountain music, that was it. That's one of the things I couldn't describe, but what in my, yeah. How do you do with the NFL refs? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think EMDR therapy, mountain music, that was a big one I went through, but that's some of the techniques that they did with me as well. But I really found for me that was talking through things, talking about situations, and honestly, crying my brains out, about some things. I could, barely even talk my first session. I'd never cried about some of these things, and I just let it go. And it helped. It didn't make it go away, but and I will say, as they tell you, things will get better when you're in these therapies before it gets worse. I started having nightmares again, all kinds of stuff. Because I was having nightmares for a while, stuff like that. And, just my own situation. Everybody deals with it differently. Everyone's different. Just my own situation, some things I had going on. And honestly, I'm pretty great right now. Feel pretty great. Okay. Every now and then I get some things that creep up. But, because I went through and did the hard work. I did the hard work, man. I was in therapy for like probably 12 months, maybe longer. And it was not easy. I think, but that's part of why I do what I do right now. It's part of why I do a big part of it, because I saw the benefit. And I'm like, man, I'm going to change people's lives. I know I've told you guys this before in lives as well too, but it's interesting, but acts of kindness can change your brain chemistry, and it's a huge part of neuroplasticity and brain healing, okay? Because of oxytocin releasing and all kinds of things. So there's a vote for acts of kindness and acts of service for other people. More of that, please. Stop re-traumatizing yourself. If you're looking at negative content, especially all the crazy shit that's on TV right now, and it's hard. It's hard. It's very divisive. The vitriol is insane, right? All this stuff like that. Just don't watch it. It's not your job. You got a job to do. Take care of yourself. Be a good citizen, wherever you are. Take care of your business. But if you choose not to be involved with some of this stuff, then don't. Like honestly, after I served in the Marine Corps for so long, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm looking at this right now. I don't feel like doing this for certain things, right? And now I'm getting back in the game in a lot of things right now over the past year or two. But for a long time, all I did was focus on my coaching practice and helping people and making people's lives better. I didn't even watch the news. I'm not going to lie to you. But over the past 2 years, I've gotten more and more involved. And because I've gone through my own healing. Okay, hopefully that helps. Hey, I'm so glad. I'm so glad this helps. I'm so glad it helps. Okay, cool. Yeah, hit me up, Jasmine. Let me know. Of course. I love me some good dogs. That's for sure. Hey, thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. You feel like you cried for 2 weeks straight? Oh no. Lisa, I'm telling you, you gotta get into my membership. You gotta get in my community. And if not, just keep showing up here. Okay. You cry for 2 weeks straight. Shoot, DM me over on Instagram, Lisa. And again, YouTube doesn't really have that function, I don't think, but let's chat. Let's see what's going on over there. Okay. Oh man. Okay, Phoenix, I see what you're saying. That's it. A toxic relationship that started a smear campaign that re-traumatized me. I'm so sorry. And I think, I think, Phoenix, I think the thing about the smear campaign is you can take action against that. You can realize that half the time no one's listening, and they probably think that person doing it's a scumbag anyway, airing out dirty laundry and saying all this crap. I'm going to tell you, people that launch smear campaigns, they think they're hurting people, but the person they're really talking about the most is themselves, Phoenix, okay? The person they're really revealing who they are is themselves, okay? They're showing just what a dirtbag they are, and how evil, honestly, how bad they are. Okay. Because if they're doing that about someone that they had a relationship with, imagine what they'll do with anyone else. Right. I always tell people this. When you go and talk about people, you hear somebody talking about someone else. Remember this: when you leave them, they're probably talking about you. Okay. The gossiper, you don't want to be around the gossiper. Okay. But Phoenix, there's a plan we can do and you can do to protect yourself. Number one, realize that words are wind. Okay. And the smear campaign, whatever they're doing, block them on everything. Anybody that's re-engaging and, bringing back crap up back in your face. Okay. I would definitely file some complaints with whatever social media they're doing it. If you need to get a restraining order, you can get a restraining order. I would ask ChatGPT, honestly, it's a great lawyer before paying $500 or $200 for a consulting fee. Ask ChatGPT to act like a top tier lawyer in, slander cases, things like that. Ask it what it could do, what you could do in order to deal with this smear campaign. And then take those actions. Maybe you send a letter from a lawyer, first of all, a cease and desist letter. Okay. You can do also restraining orders, all kinds of things like that. Okay. And there, and there's a possibility that there's some violation of the law. Okay. But at the end of the day, you need to protect your energy, protect your heart, protect your inner peace. Okay. Get as much distance away from this person mentally, physically, spiritually as you can from them. Okay. Please do that. And again, just like I said to Lisa as well, DM me over on Instagram. We can chat more about the situation. Okay. I don't want to turn this into some kind of sales pitch or anything like that, or I also want to deep dive your situation. But I've dealt with all these things over the course of what I do, and I think I got some good things I can tell you on a quick private chat. So let me know. What else, guys? Anything else? Hey, thank you so much, Adil. I appreciate you. Ben, I sincerely believe that you are a good military leader and you have engaged your operators well and you understand their fear. Thank you so much, Adil. I appreciate it. I tried to be. I tried my best every day. Every day I woke up as I would just pray to let me uphold my oath and let me be the best leader I could. And at any cost, whatever cost it was. If that took my life, then it took my life. And so that's all I could do each and every day, and managed to be okay. And I still have the faith of my guys that I led and that I worked with. And they believe in me. I believed in them, and we came out okay. We went through some stuff together for sure, but I was, I worked very hard at it, and I think I was lucky in some ways as well. But okay, Phoenix, of course. Yay, awesome. I'm so glad you stayed up late too, Lisa. Okay, I saw that Thrive and Survive in another live. I didn't know that word. Oh, awesome, the Diamond Dog. I told you my girlfriend's a French speaker. She's completely fluent. So I'll have to ask her. Sometimes sometimes she pops in and watches, but yeah, exactly. I think my girlfriend's in one of my videos at some point, but you guys can see her in there. But she'll be popping around sometime. I try to keep some of my private life private. All right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna sign off because I got my son, I think, is showing up here, and we got us a monster movie to watch. We're gonna watch a little monster movie. I think The Wolfman. Anyone seen that one? It's a new Wolfman. It's the Wolfman. It's in Oregon. I watched the beginning of it last night. I was like, no way, I'm not watching this alone. This is crazy. All right. Thanks to Diamond Dog. And then we're going to munch some food and hang out. So I'm super excited. All right, guys. Like I always say, make yourselves better, make the world better. Have an amazing week. Believe in yourselves. I believe in you. And go get yours. Let's go. I'll see you guys Thursday at 8 p.m. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for letting me do what I love. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to put up a poll and see what you guys want to see next for one of my videos. I've been doing a lot of lives and less, regular videos. So I'll create another one. I created the last one based on the poll that you guys told me what you wanted to see. And the last one was on, how to have more confidence through courage and discipline. And we talked about that. So I'm going to put another poll out there. You guys let me know what you want to see and I will create it. All right, go get yours, guys. Thanks so much. It's been such a pleasure. Thanks for showing up for the doubleheader, and go get yours. Let's go.